into it. Game
shut
one,
up.
NiP versus Finem. We're bumping.
Shut up, Shane!
You're not ready.
No,
Curse you, Shane.
How can anyone like not ban Viper, Razor, and then they ban Rubik and Invoker? Like these two cool heroes that cast spells and do cool shit, and then they don't ban Viper?
Yeah.
Viper's a cool hero when you get to know him.
So, a few things to note here. Again, to refresh everyone, the Sun's ban, 1 ban per day. That's Omni Knight. He will not be in the pool. And you can see the heroes with the red outline. Those were the community bans. And Jesus, these boys are not wasting any time. Sand King opener and a Vengeful Spirit Dazzle select. We are 2 for 2 now with Dazzle opening duo.
Yeah,
we have one of Blake's favorite teams in NiP picking his favorite hero in Lesh.
Wow.
Coincidence?
What about
Oh.
the
Were they
sub-ups?
watching the segment?
Didn't he say Finem was also his favorite team, or like up there anyway? He
He said he
liked
likes
them at
underdogs, and Finem was like an afterthought. NiP was the
okay,
real underdog. The Cinderin story.
The Cinderin story.
That's
They
right.
haven't really been doing great lately. Like they've not won a series. And,
That's why they're the underdogs, Shane.
Yeah, but the one hero they do well on is actually Clockwork, and that managed to wiggle its way in. So maybe we'll see the Clockwork in this game.
Could happen.
Clockwork.
Yeah, they love it.
So, Shane, we haven't gotten a chance to really catch up with you yet. You got any heroes you're excited to hopefully see some airtime that haven't seen anything yet?
Alright, I was looking at the bans and I was looking at the picks, and honestly, I haven't seen a lot of Venomancer. I love that hero. I just think it's hilariously annoying to play. You know, like, you're just like, oh my god, there's wards everywhere. He slows them. He's just obnoxious, and I actually like watching people play Venomancer, so I want to see that hero in the pool. And Pudge as well. Pudge is a big one. Get them sick hooks.
Cucks?
Yeah, get them sick cooks.
No one's getting sick cucks on this stream, alright? Jakiro picked out. That's not a hero anybody's
Little
picking, right?
twin-headed dragon. Not too much. I'm curious
He
what
was
they'll
pretty
do
much
with this.
untouched last series, and I was kind of surprised. I think he's pretty good still.
What role,
His talent's
though?
got...
Is this
buff,
a one
didn't they?
venge?
No.
Well, they have so much pushing, right? They have Dazzle, Venge, Carry if they want to do it, and they just like group up with Jakiro, and it's really, really powerful.
God, I love teams like this. So much push, and then you could get Leshrac, who does just as much, or if not more, push by one skill.
He's made out of paper though. Like,
Yeah,
realistically,
that's true.
Venge stuns him, Jakiro does a nice pot, he's dead.
Hey!
Oh, here we go.
There you
go,
go,
Pudge is
Shane.
next then.
Another
Pudge is definitely
coincidence, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh. This match was pre-recorded 2 days ago.
When I
And
see
they
Jakiro,
banned Viper as well.
I always think of aggro off lanes.
oh
but
my God.
next. This is disgusting push.
This is filth. They're like, how are you gonna stop them?
I love it how
what
we
are they
were,
missing?
Like, happy about this. Like, oh wow, 3 really good. Oh, disgusting.
No, but
pushing
like when
filth.
you go all in on the push, it's a different story,
You
right?
don't
Like
go
if
all
you
in.
if you do a little bit on the side, it's all right. But when you're picking like Pugna, Jakiro, they're like what the?
The problem
Alright,
they
I'm
might have
guessing
though is no
they-
frontliner. They need like a big beefcake to absorb
Yeah, I
some
was
of
gonna
this
say
damage.
they need like an off lane type here. Cause Venge I think is the carry. Pugna mid, and then these other 2 are supports. So who's an off laner that pushes, if any? Or you don't even technically need it, but
You could pick someone like Pudge and go for more pick-off stuff.
Beastmaster.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking someone actually like Centaur that could hop in there
Centaur.
and, be a frontliner,
Give me a-
initiate.
Give me a bristleback.
Oh, I think Centaur takes a while though. These lads want to push straight away.
That's
like,
true.
Something like Spirit Breaker could be pretty good. You know,
Oh.
just get that initial pick, get it going, and then after that push.
I like that.
Dying.
No.
I'm dying.
Yes.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
I feel bad, Shane. I kind of I missed our intro. We didn't really get to.
Yeah,
say
this thing, they just went straight away, like picking everything.
know,
like,
I know.
Really,
Yeah,
really
they
quickly.
got in there.
How's your life?
No
buddy?
messing.
How's your life?
It's great.
How's the? Is that controller Dota working out for you, pal?
Oh god, I played too much solo ranked and I broke my hands, so I have to play
You like this?
3K solo ranked with a controller. It's a disaster.
Oh my God, I'm
Oh
dying.
yeah, I
was
heard about
correct.
that. How is that? Other than being a
Um,
disaster.
It's difficult. Like your brain is telling your hands what to do, but they just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's actually awful. It's like painful to play actually.
You know, though, if you get it down, you can sell your own Dota controllers.
There you go.
Have
You're
you
a
ever sold
pioneer,
a mouse?
Shane.
You should contact Valve and see if they won't give you one of their fancy Steam ones.
No, that'd be too easy. Then I'll just be like a normal dude playing with a Steam controller. Apparently, it's, like you have to be edgy.
What are you playing with, a fucking N64 controller?
Xbox controller.
Oh my.
Jesus.
Gee,
Yeah, that sounds pretty much impossible.
It's pretty hard.
So
Well,
Razor
Undying.
5th band.
I think
And yeah,
both
Undying.
teams are just pushing. Look at this. It's all early team fight push.
Well, as pro players have told me in the past, when you don't know what to do, pushing early is always strong.
Well, wasn't this the classic Suns fan EM strat? Like, hey guys, there's
Yeah.
some heroes out of the pool. It's time to start picking, or time to start pushing.
Yeah. I mean,
All right,
just,
where's Coddle?
When they
Fenrir's
start off
favorite
so
hero.
quickly as well, it doesn't give your the other team any time
Oh,
to
he's banned.
react.
right.
Like they just went straight in with the Venge Dazzle, and NiP are just kind of like
10 seconds
they need
remaining.
more initiation. Like the weakness of push strategies, right? Is if you just like pick one of them
5
off and make the team
seconds
fight
remaining.
in your advantage straight away.
Sure.
You can slow them down, then you're strong, and maybe pick a
Reserve
really
time.
late game core.
All right, well, they're finally taking a little bit of time to think here.
Oh, you know what is a good carry that pushes? That's still there is Troll. We saw him in the first series.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really good. But it doesn't
ab-
really synergize with like the ult at all. The right clicks.
What
Dragon
about some
Knight
like
is still
Legion
here, too.
Commander,
Seconds remaining.
like some good counter push and a bit of late game?
Team pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Shane God.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Look
good
at
here.
you.
Holy shit. No wonder we invited you. Thank you. All right.
Needed some real analysis on this
All right,
game, and
call
we got
this
it,
next
baby.
one, or
This
else
is
I won't
good.
be impressed.
I think
go.
Spirit Breaker or some sort of initiation to allow them to push is what they need.
10 seconds remaining.
Spirit
need
Breaker's
something
good.
beefy.
They could even go all in with a
5
Necrolite and
seconds
just
remaining.
never stop pushing if they wanted to go in that angle.
Well, they've got 3 melee heroes. What about Tide
Reserve
Hunter? Is
time.
that super unreasonable here? It's not a pushing
ulti
hero.
cooldown is massive, right? Like, and these guys, you just want to
Yeah.
constantly push. You don't want to rely on big cooldowns.
Yeah, you're right. As soon as you ravage once at 10 minutes, NiP is like, okay, it's time to push, boys. We got 2
have
minutes
like
of
20 minutes
clear
till
lanes.
the next Ravage. Let's go.
I know
Yeah.
a hero that can push
Nature's
Prophet.
Well played, Slack.
Thank you.
Excellent call.
Okay, so can we actually talk about MP, though? This hero has fallen out pretty hard. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's big in pro games anymore. Is it like people not picking him, right?
Not that I've seen. Not too much, at least.
So is this an elimination mode only kind of pick here? Is it just an all-in push strat?
It's definitely an all-in push strategy.
Right.
Like, and the thing about Nature's Prophet is he can teleport to a lane and push straight away, so it makes it faster as well. But that Legion Commander is going to do a lot of damage with the overwhelming odds
Oh, yeah.
if they do group
Yeah.
up. So
I think at Finem will be able to do a lot in the mid game, but I feel like breaking high ground is going to be pretty difficult. Like Undying Tombstone, you've got Banana Mancer with all that damage, LC who can just grab somebody with a duel when you like
Sure.
getting up that high ground cliff is going to be really hard with those heroes.
I would be really scared for Ad Finem if it wasn't for Pugna. I feel like he has a lot of viability in this game. Great
Okay.
against Leshrac with the ward.
true.
Great against Legion Commander, too. I mean, you can just give some health. You can take some health. You could do the whatever they
Decrepify when he duels.
decrep.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, if it wasn't for Pugna, I'd be all in on NiP. What are you thinking, Shane? You're our brains here.
I think it's a lot down to the laning stage. If either team get a small advantage in the lane, then all of a sudden they're just going to snowball really hard, and it's going to be hard for the other team to catch up, I think. So, and in laning wise, I think NiP are definitely ahead. Like Sand King's a very good laner. Legion Commander is really good.
Yeah.
Undying obviously puts a lot of pressure on the off lane if he chooses to go there.
Well, just like every pub, we'll have to see if it's a Jungle Legion or not to see if we're going to win.
Yes. I'm
You know-
just holding my breath on that one.
It's not that often though where you see both teams with what you would generally call an all-in pushing strat, like
Yeah.
against each other. That's kind of a
This
cool.
is going to be a fucking bloodbath.
They're just going to
Yeah.
headbutt, and there's going to be a
Holy
war.
shit.
Yeah.
This
I'm
game
pumped.
will be
This-
over in
yeah.
like 16 minutes or something. Sunfan, what are
be.
your predictions, buddy? Who do you think's got this one?
I like Venge. So at
Okay,
Finem.
great.
I really like Venge
That's
as
a
core.
boring fucking answer.
Okay, thank you.
I like,
I like
vengeful
Venge.
spirit.
What is
I
there to like
like-
about Venge? She has the world's most boring stun and a swap.
No, she just feels so much more powerful when she actually gets levels as a core.
Oh,
But
the
technically,
core
the
in the
game.
hero
mid-game,
could be
she's
the
so
core for all
powerful.
we know, but I doubt it.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see. We'll
Copy
see if
that.
they have enough time to get that core Venge off. You know.
Hey, if Bulldog's watching, maybe a good Nature's Prophet performance will bring him back to the pro scene.
Oh, boy.
There you
Gonna
go.
get excited again.
He's
Is there
probably
a
playing
coincidence
GTA
that he's
or
not played
something.
anymore? I don't know.
What did 6 Treants get replaced with? I
2
forget.
times the damage, right?
Oh, no, don't they have like super mega guys now if you kill them, right? Isn't it?
Two
No, that's an
times
old
Treant
Axe thing.
HP and damage.
Yeah.
That's for 25.
Oh,
I don't know about
right,
Axe.
right, right. Eh.
Interesting. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. NiP versus Ad Finem set to start now. Game number 1, we've got Annie and Pert.
Thank you very much, panel. Awesome to be back on the mic here, and I am joined by Purge. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Annie?
I'm doing
Been liking the game
here.
so far?
I have definitely been liking the games. I watched both of them upstairs here while Mont was casting, and now get to dive right into the action right here. So I am super excited about this draft. I was looking at Finem, and you know, as they were picking, they picked a Venge and a Dazzle, a Jakiro. I'm like, oh man, there's gonna be a Drow here. And then I remembered it's elimination mode, and all you idiots ban Drow, and we're gonna get a more interesting game because
And
of that, so.
yeah, we don't have to live through that crap for the next couple of minutes.
But even without the Drow, there's gonna be a phenomenal push on Finem. How do you feel about that?
The push should be pretty fun. I think both teams are very good at it. But I was kind of curious which way the hero picks would go in terms of the laning. But I'm definitely excited to see the push potential come. And definitely Pugna. A lot of these heroes that have been picked in this game have been altered a little bit.
Definitely. We got Jakiro, maybe next time hanging around the fountain. I mean, is this Jakiro just going to go that pushing max liquid fire build, or is there kind of that dual breath meta that we saw a little while ago?
It kind of depends. Let me see. Okay, it's maybe next time. So he's a 5 position. Generally you'll want to get a lot of levels of liquid fire. That way you can push towers, but we'll see. I am having mic issues in Dota TV, so I'm just going to take a little bit of time to try to fix that. 1 sec.
Okay. Well, either way, we can go through the intros here. On Ninjas in Pajamas, we've got Trixie playing the Venomancer. Over here, we are going to have Cinderin on the Undying. Koikva playing our Legion Commander. Over here on the low ground, we've got Hani on the Sand King. And up top, it looks like Era's going to be on the Leshrac now. Leshrac is very much a dead hero. I like this little set he's got for him, but I'm very excited to see what Era's going to be doing with him. This is a position 1 Leshrac, so let's see how crazy it can get.
It might get crazy. I still haven't fixed it yet.
With his treants, and looks like there's going to be 3 bounty runes going the way. Oh, it's just chilling down bottom. No one's going for it. It looks like it will finally be snatched up by maybe our Dazzle. Spartan moving towards it.
I am not seeing the speaker option that I need in my sound device in the audio, and it is not allowing me to talk in game. It's just not there. I'm not seeing it. All right, screw Dota TV. It's too late. I'll fix it later.
All right, Purge, come to the dark side here. Skylark going up against Hani in lane. Already
Oh, Koikva's going for this courier.
Oh no, Courier, is it going to be that death? I mean, one more. Koikva just not fast enough. No boots, no windlays. And fresh out of luck here on the bottom lane. There's already some damage coming towards Cinderin. He is slow. Can he actually make it out of this? It looks like Cinderin goes in, is able to get off that quick decay, and it will save his life this time. Trixie slithering back under tower. No first blood just yet, but Finem are showing just how strong they can be at level 1.
Yeah, they have such a strong tri-lane. Vengeful Spirit Core is one of the best tri-lane carries for that reason. Dazzle's fantastic the first couple lanes or levels. And even like Jakiro, Dual Breath is an amazing skill. 100 damage and 5 cooldown. It might get a kill here, though. It's going to be hard on the Undying, though. Madara's
just going to go ahead and drop the missile, and that's going to hold Cinderin back for just a little bit. Now, he does have that decay. He's going to get it off in time, and Spartan might be the unlucky casualty here. It looks like Trixie will snap up the kill. Cinderin gets nailed by the neutral creep. Oh, no. I thought that Dual Breath was going to do enough.
Yeah, it wouldn't have killed him either way. He had a little bit over 100 HP. That's actually not as bad as it could have been for Finem. They weren't going to kill him. He got killed by neutral, which means he has longer death time. He's dead for 20 seconds here, despite being level 1. So could have been worse.
Definitely could have been worse. Now let's talk about our Legion mid going against our Pugna. Breath of fresh air from all the Legion jungles we may see in our pubs. But how's this going to work out against such a heavy pusher?
Legion's actually a very good laner. He's very good in 1v1 matchups in most cases. Being against a ranged hero is a bit tough, though. Especially a ranged hero like Pugna. He's got tons of nukes. If he really wants to spend a bit more mana, he can ensure a higher nuke damage against Koikva on the Legion using decrep. So it's kind of a scary matchup. But the skill part that I'm really worried about for Ninjas in Pajamas is Nether Ward. That's a skill that does damage based on how much spells cost on the enemy team. And if you look across all the heroes on NiP, they all have really high cast amounts. It takes a lot of mana for them to cast their skills, so he could output a lot of damage in these fights and games.
Over here, we've got Sneaky Veno in the bottom lane. Trixie just trying to get the most out of that clarity, while maybe next time picks up a double damage rune. This could get feisty, but looks like everyone's just going to play nice for now. Up in this top lane, we haven't talked a whole lot about it since the rune spawn, but our position 1 Leshrac going against the almost dead hero of Nature's Prophet. How's that going to be panning out for either team?
It's pretty easy for Era, to be honest. If he gets near the tower, he can use Diabolic Edict to push it. So if Nature's Prophet ever leaves, this tower's going to go really fast. So there has to be a lot of balance gained when you consider whether it's worth it for NP to actually go somewhere else on the map. And that place that he goes is probably going to be the bot lane when he does start TPing.
Speaking of bot lane here, we've got the Poison Touch out on Cinderin, but he is quite tanky and not going to be going down this time. So just some aggression split either way. Our big farmer here is going to be Thug in the mid lane with 21 last hits already. Of course, Nether Blast, super helpful at picking that up. What are Quakefa's timings that he really needs to be aiming for?
Basically just fast level 6, depending on how fast he can get. Like a Blink Dagger would be great as well. But certainly he's just going to try to get as much farm as he can in the meantime to try to transition himself towards those ganks. But he'll just try to get as many last hits as he can, try not to die in the middle. He should be fine though, because he can always remove Decrepify with press the attack. That should at least give him some HP.
Down bottom, maybe next time gets caught in an unfortunate position, but not going to be too scared. Everyone just cutting their way through the trees. And we're going to have a quick pause here. All right, Purge, you fix your audio. I believe in you, man.
Let's be real, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna spend time on it. I think I have too many sound devices, and it's just not showing the one that I actually need is the issue. Pretty sure. Okay, that's not enough time to fix it.
All right, well, we're hopping back in, so hopefully all you in-game viewers are going to be able to hop onto the Twitch just to catch the best of the action. If not, just feel free to watch without Purge's lovely voice, although that does seem like a bit of a sacrifice. Hani moving in, wants to go for the courier snipe here. Is he going to be able to get it? Just a little bit too far back. They're flying it back in. They see Hani. Can they get the courier away? Can they get Thug away as they bring Cinderin forward? He's going to be going in with the decay, but look at that blast trying to go forward. An easy drop. Legion Commander able to pick up the kill onto Thug, and now Hani is able to burrow strike out of the trees, but will get slapped down by maybe next time. It's no funny business. Dragon just comes in and cleans up.
Yeah, they reacted really well to that engagement there. Everybody on Finem was instantly there. They covered the Pugna. It was a lot of time, obviously, but absolutely punished the dive, made it completely worth it. Although, in the meantime, Arrow's not pushing the top lane. Diabolic Edict, one of the best tower pushing skills in the game, and it's only going to get more dangerous as the game continues. As a whole, the damage types that NiP is throwing at this game is very, very magical based, whereas if you look at Finem's side, they have a good mix of both types, I feel. So we'll see how this transitions going into the mid game.
Well, here it looks like there's going to be some sort of defense against this tower. Hani might be in some trouble, but no, it looks like Skylark's the one that's going to be going down. He comes in to try to be a hero and save his tower and pick up a kill, but it all goes wrong there. Finem, an unfortunate loss.
It was a really good rotation there by Cinderin and Hani going to the top lane there, because when you have somebody that can take towers that easily, like Leshrac, all you need to do is get a kill on the off lane here, and the tower dies almost instantly. So, able to do that. Now with TP going to the bot lane, they're going to do the same to the enemy team.
They're just going in, trying to push down this tower as quickly as possible. They've got the liquid fire up. It is going to be only level 1, so not that ultra massive push strat, but still more than enough heroes to do the job here. They've got Treants keeping the wave back, and it looks like Trixie, he really wants to initiate, but he's got no mana, he's got no ult. There is a tombstone dropped way back. Madara tries to focus that down, but I don't know if they can really actually get the best of this fight. Cinderin, he's low. Can he do anything? He goes down. The decay going to be unused here. Nice stomp, though, from the Leshrac. Is going to catch out all the heroes they need. Madara trapped in the trees. Meanwhile, Era picks up a double kill on that Prophet, and there is no hope for Madara to get out alive. The most he can do is take out the Sand King with him.
And the worst thing at the end of that is that he did get a kill, but it was after he was dead as well. So that was just a force swing there for NiP. What a great play. I thought Cinderin made a huge mistake there, but he bought his team just enough time to catch up. And that rotation from Arrow with the split earth hitting 2 to 3 heroes was amazing. Just guarantees all those kills. That's huge. They didn't even get the tower out of that, by the way, and that was all of the heroes rotating to that lane.
Yeah, that Leshrac is starting to get a little bit spooky in terms of net worth. He is going to be top of the chart now. He's got arcane boots, and it looks like he is just rushing in for that straight bloodstone.
Yeah, you pretty much have to go this build. You need the mana. The Gale is going to miss this time, though. No kill there. But that's not that big of a loss. They've just got to wait for Gale to come off cooldown. And now, Finem's going to be on the defensive here. Can they defend this push from NiP?
We'll have to see. There is Nature's Prophet doing a little bit of work in the top lane, but I don't think that's the freedom he needs. I think they need to keep this tower up. That's such a huge control point over the bottom jungle.
Yeah, Madara's not even 6 yet here either, so it's kind of hard to even punish somebody that's out of position. In fact, all of their Trine lane is a little underleveled due to the fact that they didn't get that many kills against their opponents. We could see Venge get killed here. This is a duel almost for sure.
Oh, he went out to ward, and that is unfortunate. No time to grave, no time to react, and that's going to be the first duel win of the game.
Yeah, and this observer ward that NiP placed gave them really good vision there. Spotted him rotating up there, so just a simple rotate over. Dazzle thought he could get away with this because he was really wide from the tower when he planted it, but it doesn't work out. At the least, they're killing some of the wards here, but it's getting kind of bad. Venge is running out of regen here, so if a fight even starts, they're already at 2/3 HP. They got to be really careful.
All right, well,
Send on the mid lane.
Going to go ahead, Reveal has that wave of terror. The creeps are going to be, you know, lower armor, but Quakefell, look at him go. That's going to be nice Nature's Prophet ult, trying to hold everyone back. Era is quite low, taking tower damage, but is able to secure the tower.
Oh, Madara
now.
canceled. They're going to chase. This is really hard, though. He's got to get the swap. He's so slowed. And they can't run through the wards here. They're just taking so much poison damage. So kind of a decent minute for Finem there. That they did end up ganking Synderen on the mid lane. They TP'd in, sprouted him, killed him, took the tower, but then they didn't quite get as much as they wanted out of the safe lane and lost their safe lane tower. So it could have been better.
Definitely could have been better. Now, we got to ask the question that a lot of Finem fans are thinking. If this ultra push strat that Finem drafted doesn't start to go their way in the next couple of minutes, what does this game look like for them? How can they get back in this?
I mean, they still have lots of good nuke damage, and their team fight's not terrible by any means. But the biggest issue, I think, are that the two supports are really underleveled. In fact, most of the heroes are underleveled. Venge just hit 6, for example. Jakiro's picked up 5, Dazzle's 5. I mean, it's only 8 minutes into the game, but the issue is that their heroes are a lot better with a couple more levels. Jakiro, for example, hits a really good power spike between like level 6 and level 10, at least for activeness on the map. And so they're going to have to deal with all this pushing in the meantime.
Era moving in. They want to start annihilating all these tier 1 towers, and they've only got one left here. Ninjas in Pajamas looking to get a very early map lead. Synderen just moving forward, being that tanky bully that you can seem to get past. Now Thug goes in, tries to blast away his health with that little nether blast, but we'll see how effective it's going to be. The tombstone goes down, so does Nature's Prophet. Another dual victory goes the way of Quakefell. This LC is starting to be a little bit ferocious. Synderen, he's trying to live through this, and it looks like he should be able to. He's backing up, and there's going to be that interrupt of that life drain. So there we go. Everyone just fighting it out. Hani thinking about moving forward, just not have his ult available. Trixie.
Oh, he dodges it.
Same story. No ult
Really
available
well
for this Veno. Hasn't chosen to scale it yet. Now this Jakiro just going way out on his own. Everyone in Ninjas in Pajamas is so low. But it seems like Finem just can't get there to finish it off and collect those kills they desperately need. So it's going to be shrine up and right back to the push for Ninjas in Pajamas.
That was a very close fight from both ends, actually. Both teams just taking lots of damage. I love the smoke here after the shrine. I don't know if Advenum's going to expect this one here. They're thinking about going for Skylark. He's trying to build towards the Drum of Endurance. No blink yet for Quakefell. They've got to get the Burrow Strike first.
Oh, they know. This poor little Nature's Prophet here. He's trying so hard. He's going to get dueled, and if he does go down, there he goes. That's his 4th death of the game. 0 and 4. Hasn't been able to find many towers for himself. This Nature's Prophet just feels so starved. How do you get a Nature's Prophet big and beefy after a start like this?
He's just got to go somewhere where he's not going to get ganked, and that's pretty much the solution. But playing Nature's Prophet is very difficult for that reason, because you are very easy to kill. You don't have a natural escape, really. So you just have to not get in these bad situations. He can always catch up, though, because he is almost always farming, and he usually won't miss out on any ganks. So he'll be okay. It's just going to be a tough start for him, I think. The thing that I'm kind of curious about is how is Finem going to make these fights go a little bit better for them? And I think a solution could be something like a mech. Pugna's going for an Aether Lens, which he kind of does need to make the hero better, because then you can do cool stuff like put Nether Ward on cliffs and have longer range on your life drain. But I'm still pretty worried for them as a fight, because their heroes that were supposed to be good at the start of the game did not get very much advantage, and that's really the thing that Finem should be concerned about.
Yeah, I'm really hoping against hope that Fenim's just going to go in and start deathballing down. I am an Fenim fan, but you got to be impartial here. Looks like they are rotating in. The smoke coming forward. It's going to break. Are they actually able to go in and get this started? Leshrac is just melting down. Is he able to do anything here? Pops on his ult for just a moment, but will not find what he needs. Now Synderen just going to be scrambling out of the jungle, but one more smack. That's going to be maybe next time, picking up another kill for himself. 4-1 on the Dragon, and that's exactly the kind of kill that Fenim needs. Now they're immediately going to rotate mid. Look for either the kill or the cease push on this mid lane. Trixie knows better, just going to back out and let Finem have their way in the mid lane for a couple of moments.
That's what's so nice about their fight here, is that even... Oh, we might see an initiation. Quakefell with an Invis Rune and a Blink Dagger.
Definitely would like to go in and find an easy duel, but there is so much backup on Finem.
And they kind of have to duel Thug is the only way on the Pugna.
Well, that's what they're going to be trying to do, but immediate stun comes out from Madara. Ice Path as well. That's going to be ult dumped out by Trixie. There might just be enough damage over time. Madara trying to run, but she's going to be burning down, will end up losing her life, and that's going to be another kill. Era, just an animal here. 5-1-3 on the Leshrac. Already has the soul booster, and just a recipe away from the full Bloodstone at 12 minutes.
Yeah, they did get the kill earlier, but really nice jump there by NiP. Thug tried to at least get the Legion kill, but just not enough damage. And that's what's so scary about their lineup. Finem's lineup is so good early, but they're not very good if their opponents run at them, which is kind of a fixture of what it does. With Tombstone and Leshrac being tanky and worrying about the duel as well, they need somebody that can save Pugna if he gets dueled, because he's kind of the one that's supposed to save other people if they get dueled.
Yeah, I mean, the missile on the Venge was the best shot.
Yeah, the swap tried to help as well, but it only does so much. Pugna's HP is just not survivable enough. They almost need somebody else that can frontline instead, but they just don't have that this game. It's basically going to have to be Venge getting ahead. The Centaur could definitely help them. They're going to keep going for ganks. I really like how they're doing this. 2 heroes with smoke, it's always Venge, and then they'll just TP and Prophet is. And no, it doesn't matter where it is. It's going to do a swap stun. Here comes.
Looking for it. There we go. There's the swap, but unfortunately, Veno is able to react in time, at least doing a little bit of damage to Madara. Starting to burn down, but will be healed up by the rest of his team. They're moving in, and they are ready to push. This Nature's Prophet just scrambling his trees through the forest and looking for the chase onto Cinderin. Now, there is going to be Koikva in the background if they want to jump. If there is anyone in Finem that gets super low health and can be capitalized on. Cinderin standing in the macro pyre just a little bit, but will be healed up by Koikva's heal, so... Nothing happening just yet in terms of kills, but this push is huge for Finem. If they can actually find this tower, that would be phenomenal for them.
It's going to be tough, though. They got the Veno kill, but he's respawned now. They'll hit the building. I mean, it helps so much to have Nether Blast from the Pugna here. Doesn't even take long for them to take buildings.
Boom, there it goes, and that's going to be the first tier 2 tower down on the map.
So this is basically what they just need to keep doing for success. Get a kill, rapidly take a tower. It's so much easier to have a Pugnan to do it just because his Nether Blast does such a stupid amount of damage to buildings. So if they can just keep relying on that, a single kill into a tower, then yeah, they're going to get tons of advantage this game. But they always start off with a smoke, and they've used a lot of smoke. They're going to be running low very soon. So maybe they can steal this Roche just to be really advantageous for them and help make up for the fact they don't have as many smokes.
Well, Roche melting down very, very quickly. Of course, that Dazzle Weave helping out a lot in terms of armor, keeping everyone nice and safe in the pit, but is this going to be enough? I like that Ice Path there just to try to do what they can. Radiant are able to get the Roche. Legion tried her best, but wasn't able to go in for the snipe, and Madara picks up the Aegis. And it looks like Ninja's Pajamas aren't going to re-engage.
Did you see that overwhelming odds? It took all the heroes to like half HP. It was crazy.
It was crazy, but it wasn't enough to get the fight started. Really good reaction from the Jakiro, just knowing they're outside the pit. I can feel them. My spidey senses are tingling, and just wanted to make sure that that Aegis goes into the right hands. Yeah,
it was just really good positioning for them. They had an observer ward near the enemy's shrine, and then they put the Centaur on that ramp. That was the only way for them to walk through it. So they either have to kill the Centaur, or they have to walk around it, which would have taken longer. So it was just, it delayed them just enough, an extra 10, 15 seconds, that kind of a thing. And that's all the difference it made. Because if the fight actually starts there, especially with that overwhelming odds, it absolutely could have been an NiP teamfight win. But just small little things like that will make a big difference in movements of push and crucial tower taking.
All right, we've got a movement. Ninjas in Pajamas looking for this bottom tower, but this time there will be some defense coming out from Finem. They're not going to let it go down so quickly. Madara goes in with a wave of terror, catches out Era, just trying to force him back, and nothing yet. But the vision on the map is something I want to talk about, where there's a little bit of a stalemate. Ninjas in Pajamas have really nice aggressive wards in the Radiant jungle. They've got wards on their shrines. They're really trying to do their best to make sure that Finem just doesn't have vision of them.
Yeah, I really like this one in the Radiant jungle down here. It's a very weird spot, but it gives pretty solid vision to just spot out where your opponents are going to be. Huh?
The Veno thing next to it died, but unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, the one that's there. Like, you can even see the sentry next to it. They're spotting out for that kind of jungle control. When you lose your tier 1, almost always an enemy hero will go into your jungle and put a ward down aggressively. But this one's kind of a good mix of both. It's more important to have the ward live for it than it to be perfect. So I really like that placement there. NiP's kind of thinking about defending, but they gave up on that tier 1 almost immediately.
Like half a second there with that blast. Now Madara just going to town on Era. Is this really something that can happen right now? The stun is on cooldown. Skylark trying to go for the wraparound. 4-step up for maybe next time. Do they have the catch? Ice Path going to be dodged out, and he goes for the deny with his fancy new Bloodstone, but there was no way he was getting out of that alive.
Yeah, this Venge plus Prophet thing is just so scary, because normally if your Venge is on a support, you need a core as well, but if it's carry Venge and you have a Prophet showing up, that's almost always going to be enough damage to kill heroes like this. I mean, NiP has a lot of physical weaknesses. They don't have a lot of armor on their heroes, and Venge has minus armor and damage amp, and comboing that up with the Nature's Prophet means they can kill almost all these heroes.
Absolutely. Finem, they're going in for their push. They've definitely hit their stride now. At this point in the game, 17 minutes in, this is a very different looking game than it was earlier. They've now picked themselves up about 2,500 in terms of net worth advantage. And overall XP is still in favor of NiP. If we look at the levels and how that's breaking down, you've got your Legion, who's starting to get a little bit scary. She's been relatively quiet, but racking up the duels and has only died once.
Yeah, Senking in position here to get an epicenter, but if he presses his epicenter button, it's going to interrupt his Blink Dagger. This is kind of a hard fight.
Tombstone dropped out. Undying doing the best he can to zone back. Skylark comes back in, puts more treants to trying to get down the Tombstone, nipping it one by one. Madara going to be going in. The swap to prevent the duel victory, and that's going to be a dead Legion standing in the fire. There is going to be that Aegis burn down on the Vengeful Spirit. Era running for his life. This Jakiro just flapping right after him. Has the Ice Path. Can he try to ankle it right? The stun from the Lash isn't on point, and this is now one of the only survivors on NiP. Hani just kind of walking around near the tower, making sure no one tries. Era gonna get slowed down by the dual breath. I don't think Jakiro can take this fight anymore. Era's just getting a little bit too close to home, and there he goes back up. Gonna be able to activate that shrine. Meanwhile, there is gonna be a continuing chase. Madara trying to reinitiate onto Trixie. Will end up getting burrow struck, but I think Madara can just man up against Hani if he tries to continue the fight. And
yeah, it would have been a big loss there if Venge died, but oh, they're going for the Senking now.
Yeah, they're continuing this chase. They are not going to let anyone off with a warning. Look at that Ice Path, just barely clips him. The Sprout as well. He's going to go ahead. He's going to Sandstorm. Is there going to be vision here? He's going to blink right as that Venge wave of terror hits him, and looks like he will be okay. He's just starting a new life there in the trees. He knows he can't leave.
He really is. Do you see the Prophet build? He's going for a pipe this game. Very interesting. But you can really see the advantage there. That fight looked okay for NiP, but they had really good reactions to the duel. The macro power was solid, and they just want to stay alive.
Oh, the swap reinitiation onto Cinder, and he's going to immediately flesh column himself, but can't do anything. He drops this Tombstone. He's killed. There is going to be the Shallow Grave onto Madara, but I don't know if she's going to be able to live here. Thug doing everything he can to keep his teammates healthy. Dazzle as well keeps her alive, at least for now. And this fight may just be getting a little bit too scary for Finem. They've exhausted their spells. Their mana's starting to deplete on some of their heroes. How much longer can they really stay in this and just keep going in this one spot?
I mean, Finem can, because they picked up an urn, Sir Action Slack's favorite item in the game. It just allows you to continue to heal everybody after they're almost dead. Like, that looked like a completely... that sounded like a completely dead Vengeful Spirit, but with their urn, it gets him back up to full HP. They've got the Helm of the Dominator, and now they have a pipe. That's like tons of stacking heal ores, and that's why it's becoming so hard for NiP to take a fight. If NiP doesn't fight with Epicenter, with everything started, if they don't initiate, they're going to lose fights, and that's what's happening repeatedly.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit difficult for Ninjas in Pajamas. They looked so strong early on. They got, what, like 4 kills on their Lesh in the span of like a minute and a half, and then what kind of happened? Why'd that Lesh drop off? Is that just what happens?
It's just the team fight stuff. I mean, he's weak to physical. He's also forced to buy magic. Like, that was what was so cool about Adfin's draft.
Oh, this Treant MVP, dude.
Their first 2 picks were Dazzle and Venge, and in some of the other elimination mode tournaments, I mean, I don't know if Adfin was watching them or not, but it's like, oh, that's obviously during a physical push lineup. But then their next 2 picks was like Jakiro and Pugna, and all of a sudden you go from this like heavy physical thing to being like push oriented, but also having lots of magic and lots of physical. So now Lesh has like 3 problems he has to solve. I need armor, I need magic resistance, I need HP, and he can't solve all of them, and they're super exploiting the minus armor one right now, not to mention just all the ganking that Venge is doing. So like all of the things that Adfinem are doing is working really well in this game. All their pressure in the mid game is fantastic, and their heroes are lining up really well against what NiP has.
Yeah, they all just got weaved by their Dazzle, so they're ready to fight. They're ready to start this off, and Madara just looking like a boss in this Vengeful Spirit, going to be building into the Hurricane Pike very soon. And I mean, just look at this tower melt. The Fortify is going to be expended, but it can only last so long, and we'll see how Ninjas in Pajamas is going to deal with this. If they try to go in and Epi, and it looks like they will be able to do so. Hani charging it up. Looks like he is going to blink. He will find the strike onto the Venge, but Ice Path to keep that Madara safe. Looks like Madara's just going to be running away, and Cinderin almost gets knocked down. One more hit will be enough. Maybe next time picks up a killing spree on the death of that Undying.
Yeah, and now Pugna has an Ags as well, which means he can heal one person, or he can continuously use Life Drain. Well, he could heal before, but 0-second cooldown now on Life Drain. So he's just constantly going to be stealing mana from people. They're just like this unstoppable tanky force now that's so much better at 5-manning than what NiP has. NiP has to initiate. They have to wait until Adfinem spreads apart. This is a good time here. Hani's going to try to grab one, but he just doesn't have stun mana.
Yeah, I mean, he was walking after him as fast as he could, but without that Burrow Strike, he really can't initiate. He was waiting for that last, 2 or 3 mana to get it going. But like you mentioned, Adfinem are so scary when they're wadded together, and by the time it took the Sand King to actually get in there and initiate, to have Spartan and maybe next time on top of him.
It's a tough game for NiP here, but they gotta get something going. But all of their heroes are fairly incapable of doing that. I mean, Venomancer is not really a very typical gank hero, for example. He's supposed to be able to counter push strongly enough, but there's enough ranged heroes on Finem that they can deal with his wards that are stacked up, and the other heroes just aren't that amazing at ganking. But the ones that are should probably get something going here. Like thinking Legion Commander plus Lesh plus Sand King, something like that. Every time that NiP has been encountering Finem, it's always in pushes. And that's the worst time to take a fight against the items they're building and the way that they're playing right now. So they have to take these opportunities between basically what we've been talking about during the downtime and now, and they missed that opportunity again.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of pushing, that tier 2 just got obliterated, and this tier 3 is melting so quickly, and right now the Dire, they don't have a Fortify. Looks like Trixie's going to be going in trying to do what he can. He's going to get healed up by the Undying, but he's still not in a good place. Now here we go. Great initiation by Hani. Oh, that Sand King did everything he could have, and now the Trixie ult to follow it up. Oh, the pipe is not going to be enough to do anything here, and that's going to be... Finem just crumbling here. They've got to either back away. Oh, the stun to interrupt the TP, and the Grave can't last forever. Madara is going to be going down, is able to get the snipe on Cinderin before he falls, gets that XP, but that is still a huge loss for Finem.
Yeah, great team fight there by NiP. It all comes down to the fact they got a little grouped. The epicenter came in finally, and we also saw a follow-up stun from Leshrac. That means like 5 seconds of AoE stun on a couple heroes, and that will be enough to win the fight. Not to mention it was up high. It was up high ground, which makes it harder. It's not as easy for you to swap people. It's harder to see when people are about to initiate. And NiP does still have good initiations, but they have to coordinate them well. And you saw it there, and it wrecked them.
Yeah, another new thing we saw there is our BKB on our Legion Commander. I mean, she's scaling up. Got 30 damage. Quakefa is doing the best he can to try to find these duels. Is it enough? I mean, how much time does Quakefa realistically need to become that super scary Legion that we've all seen?
I mean, I don't know if we're going to see him become super scary this game necessarily, but the BKB makes a huge difference because it allows him to BKB before he initiates, which means if he wants to press the attack on himself, he can do it before he jumps in, and there's going to be nothing that can disable him while he does that. So at the least, if Pugna's sitting by, Pugna will have to decrepify the opponent rather than decrepping the Legion, or he can't just get stunned. It basically allows him to attack and possibly kill whoever he's dueling. Didn't really give him the kill in the last game, but it did help delay the Venge and his impact on the fights, and ultimately worked out. So it's fine. He can basically focus on damage items now, and that may allow him to get pickoffs later too. And look at all the map control now that NiP has. They're farming the enemy jungle. The Finem's fairly spread across the map, so this is an opportunity for them to get better vision, maybe get some wards down aggressively, and hopefully turn that into kills before the next push.
Yeah, I just want to point out our Leshrac thought that Legion's BKB was so great. He's getting one of his own and now has it completed. So for this next fight, Era will be Magic Immune as well as the Magic Resist coming from that Hooded Defiance. So Ninjas in Pajamas.
And he got the Magic perk too.
Yeah, I mean, they've figured out that magic damage is just crippling them in these fights. So if they're able to just be completely immune, they're not going to get stopped by missiles. They're not going to get, completely run over, at least in the initial burst damage of the fight.
Yeah, it's actually huge for Leshrac just because of the Nether Ward. The Nether Ward's been reflecting a lot of damage towards him, so he needed the BKB big time.
All of Ninjas in Pajamas now moving down towards the mid lane. They've decided, Finem, they had great success when just moving as 5, trying to push everyone down, so we'll try it ourselves. And you did mention smokes are running low. We do have one on the Dazzle on the side of Finem. And there is going to be a smoke up on Ninjas in Pajamas as well, but they are now just kind of rotating clean past each other.
We'll see how this next fight goes. There's a Veil picked up on Jakiro, but against magic resistance, it's not even that amazing. So I don't know if Finem will have quite enough damage, especially because they spent so much on just kind of tanky teamfight push items like the Pipe of Insight and Prophet. This could really affect the next fights. I just don't know if their damage is going to be enough after that last teamfight loss. Smoke's breaking.
They know someone's up here. Nice Wave of Terror will at least give some vision to what's going on the low ground. This is just a mess of particles going on as Quakefa gets a 1 duel. Again, the BKB allows him to initiate safely. Madara, now running for his life, is going to get slowed by the lightning, and Era wants to just move forward. Do they have anything to break the TP? They don't. And that is going to be Avenge escaping by the skin of her teeth. Meanwhile, Skylark is just going to be pushing up, trying to get some damage onto this tier 3 tower.
Interesting TP over to the left side as well. Will allow him to eventually farm out the top lane. Oh, I think they're going to try to contest Roche is what they're doing. Yeah, they're going to be up pretty soon, actually. They can maybe do this.
Yeah, again, with the change to the shrines, you have to break high ground in order to get them down, so they can't stop this movement coming in. Finem going to go in, starting things off with the Ice Path. They've got the Dual Breath to slow everyone down, and now there is going to be the Dazzle Weave. They've got that broken armor coming through, and where's the raw damage? They've actually got to go collect these kills now that they've assorted them so nicely. There is going to be initiation onto the Vengeful Spirit here. She's stunned up. They can't afford to lose her. She's going to get dueled, and while there is a significant amount of damage going the way of... Oh my god. Matara just... Okay.
I think he's cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
done,
acceptable. And now the rest of Finem, they're still going. Nice macro pyre, and they do have that drain on Cinder, and I don't know if they can really rake in any more kills from this, but the Roche is successfully contested.
Yeah, Thug needs to cast Decrep a little bit more. It's pretty low cooldown. It slows people a lot here. And he's missing some opportunities. Could be in trouble now, though.
Yeah, Era's just going to be moving in. They've got that damage coming out from his ult, and although Era, he's moving very far in. They've got the Tombstone from Cinder, and this big flesh golem just moving forward, wanting to get the kill onto Spartan. Does have the grave available, but is going to get stunned up and not able to cast it, leaving maybe next time all to himself. And I don't think this dragon gets out so lucky now. Era is going to be going in, trying to right-click him to death, and will be able to do so. And that's going to be a double damage rune picked up for the Leshrac, and the Roche is once again available.
Oh, that fight was so good for Leshrac. He's up to 19 Bloodstone charges now. After the early suicides and the early deaths, this has been amazing for his mana pool. So incredible that fight eventually went well for NiP. Well, maybe not incredible, because Venge did die quite towards the start, but I feel like Finem had some advantages there. They got a lot of heroes there rapidly due to the shrine. They just weren't able to successfully like commit and get kills. They're really having some disable problems is what it seems clear. Even in favorable positions, outside of like Venge stun, that's like all they have.
Oh, Cardi.
It died for a cause. It knows they're there now.
Oh, jeez. All right, there is going to be another contest coming in. This Roshan is going to be a hot topic going on here. Ninjas in Pajamas are forced to back as Finem just start to throw themselves at. But I do want to point out what our Nature's Prophet's been doing while all this has been going on. Check out the bottom tier 3 tower on the dire side. That thing is 39 HP, and that is the key to getting down shrines.
That's huge, because in all these fights, the only reason Finem can get back so much is because their shrine hasn't died yet. So if they can kill that tier 3 tower, they can take their opponent's shrines, and it takes NiP's advantage away. But if they take Roche first, it's going to change everything. Well,
they've got to go in right now. Wave of Terror scouts things out. Cinderin getting low, but he's going to go ahead and beef himself up. The Roshan, it's going to be falling momentarily. Who's going to be getting it? Madara forces himself into the pit, gets used up, and that's going to be an Aegis for the Leshrac, who's now BKB'd, goes in for the stun on the Venge, and there's no way she gets saved. Her team just can't do enough to help her out, and that's going to be a quick, easy duel win for Quakeva. Unfortunately, Cinderin loses his life, but there may still be more kills to come for NiP. The Grave to temporarily save Spartan. He's trying to do what he can in the meantime, but he knows he's not necessarily getting out of here alive, and there he goes. One more swat from Koika, and that's going to be a very, very dead Dazzle. Now Skylark trying to be a man here, trying to go up against Era, but that is just going to be an Aegis. Thug moving forward, maybe trying to think about going on to this Leshrac. Leshrac does have a stun when he respawns. He's going to get silenced, though. Oh, man. Skylark builds up that Orchid, and that's going to be a huge player right now. Era is going to get low. Not only is that an Aegis burn, that is a dead Leshrac that has lost Bloodstone charges. He's down to 14. Finem, they persevered through what looked like a lost Roche fight, and they got exactly what they needed.
Can Koifa get away from this here? He almost gets caught by Skylark. Man, he skirted away from dying like 3 times in that fight. Koifa was playing really good in these engagements. But Thug did a lot of damage in that last team fight, just constantly life-draining enemy heroes, and he's 1 level away from his next point.
Do these teams know how to disengage? Because this is like the longest skirmish ever, and it looks like it will result in another duel victory for Koikva. He has to go ahead and back as he is super low health, low mana, but he's now sitting on almost 100 extra duel damage.
That was a really greedy place to farm, that's for sure, and he gets extremely punished for it. You know, if you dual Pugna, the guy's going to die really fast. He doesn't have very much armor, so it just takes a couple Legion hits.
Era now keeping that focus up. I mean, this tower is so freaking low. Nature's Prophet, yeah, he's doing it. He's thinking about it. It's Finem. Of course they're going to do this. Just going in.
Going for Translon. I don't... Is it going to work?
Yeah, it's working. They got it.
Where's the backdoor protection? Where's the backdoor?
The creeps have been up there recently enough, I guess.
That was a little weird. I feel like... I'm really surprised he was able to get the last hit there. But that's huge. Now they can destroy shrines. I think Finem's next move now is group as 5 when everybody's up. Maybe try to get a kill first, but then take shrines. They have to be really careful around the shrines because I think Ninja's Pajamas is very likely to defend them.
Yeah, absolutely. That shrine, at least the one down here, is the huge point, the huge control for Roche, and they need to keep that up. They can't afford to just keep dropping Roches to Finem.
It worked on the last fight at least. They still got all the kills afterwards.
Yeah, how many kills did it actually take? Like, what was the net sum of kills in that Roche fight of all the skirmishes?
God, I don't know, man. There's been 20 kills on Finem, 26 on the enemy team. Probably a good like 80% of those, I'm sure.
I like Madara
Jakiro
and his
changing his
pets.
build up. Yeah, he's got quite a few. Jakiro did have Eggs queued up. I was kind of liking the idea, but it's a lot better when controlling Roche, not so much when you're doing other fights. And he's going to go for a Shivas instead. He's actually insanely farmed, by the way. His net worth is incredible for Jakiro. He's like as farmed as the Pugna is.
Yeah, he is almost exactly as farmed as the Pugna is in terms of overall levels. He's going to be sitting pretty at level 20 now, second only to the Legion Commander at 21.
He did grab the experience perk at 10. It's a little buff to the hero. It used to be 15, I believe. But made a big difference in this game, certainly. He's got a lot of levels and he's profited. Now he's at 150 GPM perk at level 20. That's some value right there.
Absolutely, dude. This Jakiro is starting to get huge. I mean, he picks up his Shivas. That's great. What's his next plan? How does he keep himself useful in these fights if this game goes another 20 minutes?
More disable, I guess. Maybe utility items, something
Sheepstick?
like a blink could be good, a sheep stick, lotus orb, things like that are certainly an option. Maybe even something like a solar crest could be great. It's been buffed. It does 12 armor now. That's actually something that Adfinem is certainly lacking, is they're not super survivable against the right clicks of Legion, which may become a problem later. But Shiva's definitely covers some of that, so
Speaking
maybe not
of
needed to
Legion
cover.
becoming a problem, she is at level 20 run right now, almost level 22. At 25, is she going to get that extra dual damage? Is she going to just start to absolutely ball out of control?
See, that's a harder question. In pro games, usually Legions will grab the 25% cooldown reduction. In pubs, the 40 dual damage definitely better.
Oh yeah, every
I
time.
think Pugna is
Oh,
dead here.
speaking of dual damage, we're going to be going in, and that is absolutely a dead Pugna. Nothing he can do to react to that.
So if you compare how much dual damage Quakefa has right now, he's 100. But for a pub game, if you're way better than your opponents or something, you get stupid amounts of dual damage. But if people are 5-manning a lot or they play around teams, it's a lot harder to get dual damage. So in some cases, it's just better to have the cooldown reduction to reduce your BKB, Blink Dagger, press the attack, dual cooldowns. So we'll see what he goes. It could be a lot of stuff.
The seeds of fortune.
Madara getting pinged back by his team. Maybe next time does not want to initiate there, and that is going to be the right call here, as everyone from Ninjas in Pajamas is grouping up around this mid lane, posturing for that tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, we got Nature's Prophet just chilling up in the top lane, ready to push in another set of racks.
Yeah,
if he gets.
He's always got to do this. It's really important because it means that Ninjas Pajamas can't just try high ground, and they can't take other stuff from the map. Because if they're about to go high ground and Nature's Prophet's up there and threatening a barracks on their side, they could just get a really crappy trade where one hero does as much economic damage as 5 heroes. So that's why he's constantly going to these other lanes. And look what he's doing on the shrines as well. He's using treants to kill them. He doesn't even have to mess around with his hero. Just send the treants over. They do a lot of damage. They're not super tanky, but they will kill the shrines. And it's just not worth NiP showing up most of the time to defend it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they're not killing the shrines right now, they're forcing TPs from the Legion. They're forcing her to be in a location where Adfinem knows about it. They can rotate accordingly. Yeah. That is so valuable.
And now Legion can't go gank and duel somebody, which is
Speaking
the big
of ganking and dueling, oh man. Poor Cinder, and he's just caught with his pants down. Goodbye.
That was a pretty straightforward kill. Ben's just looking like she has some really good damage. She did get that buff to the level 20 perk. It does 65 damage now. So I was looking at her item build. I'm thinking, she's really not going to scale well, but she's still hitting hard. And it's because of that perk, the attack speed perk, the stats perk. Venge carry, it just keeps getting buffed.
Yeah, I mean, in the hands of Madara, too, you cannot underestimate pretty much any carry, and Venge especially. That's why, when I first saw Venge picked up, I'm like, this is not going to be a support. I mean, we're in elimination mode. Things are going to get crazy, but this is absolutely going to be carry.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what he does at 25. The plus 20% Vengeance aura damage is amazing when you have a lot of stats. It's kind of like an Alpha Wolf following you around. But the Magic Immunity Piercing Spell Immunity, or Magic Missile Piercing Spell Immunity, is pretty valuable this game too. Yeah, exactly. Like against the Leshrac, against the Legion, this could be really valuable this game. So it's going to be a hard choice when he hits 25.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to be doing. Has a little bit of time to think about it, and looks like a gank is going to be on the horizon for our Greek boys. They're moving up. They want to get these shrines. Too.
This is Venom's job. Just defend the shrine at all costs.
All right, Venom having a BKB, that's like opposite day. But I think at this point, Madara kind of has to go for that missile piercing immunity, right? As she's not going to be able to use it.
It's hard to say. It's not a very long disable. It's not like you need to interrupt a black hole that's being channeled. Stunning through duel could be nice, but it might not, probably won't make a big enough difference to kill the Legion or disrupt him from getting a dual kill. So I think she'll probably go damage, especially because it's going to apply to all of her teammates, but it's certainly an option that he could explore.
All right, we've got the Radiant trying to take out the last bottom exterior shrine, and Dire, they're just going in straight for this tower, and they are able to hit very, very hard. They should be able to find this tier 2 easily, but it doesn't seem like Finem are too concerned. They've got what they wanted. Their shrines are now cleared out, and they can go and push in this bottom lane without really anywhere to TP in and stop them.
Yeah, that's what at first I was thinking that was kind of a mistake, but if you consider what's important about shrines, it's mostly map control and that you can get out of your base really rapidly with TPs. And I thought a tier 2 for a shrine not so good, but in this case it really is because Finem still has both of theirs. So it's kind of like they lost a tower, and yeah, NiP got gold for it, but they also got gold for the shrine, and they basically just finally cut off the map entirely for NiP. NiP can only TP to the tier 3s. That's the only way they get out of the base, other than having boots of travel. So they're in a weird spot now.
Radiant
it's harder for them to react to split push in.
On the bottom, they know that Hani's here. They know that this is happening. Maybe next time, this was information that was available to him. He's going to go ahead and Yules and Skylarks go back in. They are going to catch out Hani. They get the silence on as well. He's standing in the macro fire. Is this Sand King going to pay the ultimate price for a great initiation? He's going to go ahead and get decrept. He's trying to just sandstorm in the woods. Do they have the AoE to stop it? He's going to blink back straight into Madara's face. Going to get trapped in, and there's going to be a nice burrow strike. Do they have vision of him? They're able to get anything to do with him. Well, he's going to be sandstorming again.
By a sentry.
By some sort of vision or something, some AoE.
They
He's
keep
just
seeing him
completely kiting them. Hani, please relax. And he will
Okay.
finally die, but he forces back all of Finem from that bottom lane where they were pushing racks.
My god, that took so long to kill him.
The part that
pretty well.
confuses me is Radiant had a scan. They had scanned this part of the jungle and revealed that there were heroes there.
I don't know. They just didn't want to engage on them. You never know if it's just one guy waiting. It could be Sand King. It could be Legion Commander. But once they caught them, then they definitely showed up. Oh, and that's going to give more Rosh as well. Honey dead for 13. And of course, NiP doesn't have a shrine to TP to anymore.
Yeah,
the map control around shrines is just huge in Finem's favor now.
I mean, your closest port to get to the Rosh pit is the tier 3 top, and that is not advantageous.
Yeah, it's maybe like the one shrine inside the base is closer, but it's not looking amazing. And Bench here, did he? Oh, he dropped the cheese, I was going to say. He's going for a Butterfly next. Great choice since it increases his base stat, and therefore gets bonus damage because of Vengeance Aura and the Alpha Wolf. The Alpha Wolf gives, what, 30? He's basically every point of agility he buys is giving him a 66% damage bonus. So agility items are the item here for Eventual Spirit as the game continues.
Yeah, I really like this itemization by Madara. I like that he has his little pets following him around instead of just, you know, leaving him by the ancient pit to stack.
Yeah, it's absolutely the right way to play. And it's pretty easy to with the Alpha Wolf. Just right-click it on your hero. You don't have to think about it too much.
Things are starting to get a little bit scary for Ninjas in Pajamas. They feel a little more cornered into their base, again, without their shrines, with this tier 3 down, these exposed racks, and an Aegis Prophet on the other team. How do you play this? If you're NiP, do you smoke out as 5 and try to look for kills of your own? Do you turtle? Do you counter push? What's the play?
It's a mix of turtle and ganking. It's really obvious. You can see how different they're playing now that the shrines are gone. They're just sitting in their base most of the time, and occasionally they'll have a hero or two sit in trees near a lane that is pushed out. And what they're trying to do there is wait to see if somebody is solo and if they can get that kill. And if they can, it gives them an opportunity to actually try to take a high ground fight, and that's the moment when they try to force a 5v5. Because if Finem's doing a good job, all the lanes are pretty much always pushed, and NiP doesn't feel safe to leave. So if it just comes down to this mix of like, can they push the lanes more than you, or can you push the lanes more than them? And then when they are in your favor, can you take a fight or an advantage fight that gives you a 5v4 or 3v2 gank or something?
Oh, our Legion went for the 25% cooldown reduction.
Yep, not too surprising, to be honest. It's just he's only gotten so many duels so far, and it's better to have the lower cooldown on BKB.
That is true, definitely. Madara getting up there 22. We'll see if he's going to go for the missiles or, like you mentioned, just the raw survivability in these fights. Now maybe next time going to be going. Madara just wants to push here. Again, has the Aegis, has the Butterfly. It is really hard to get in contact with Madara. Blink down. That is going to be a Veno initiation. Trixie's going to be BKB'd, and Hani goes in with a nice ult thug. Is going to get graved up. Can he get out of this alive? He's getting healed up so rapidly, but this grave can only last so long, and he will be killed off. And now it's just Madara versus the world. Still an Aegis in tow, but Madara is making incredible space as top Nature's Prophet is pushing in. Madara does lose the Aegis, but this tier 3 falls. The racks are exposed, and now with Venge respawning, you can feel Ninjas in Pajamas have that dissonance of we don't know where to go, we don't know whether to defend racks, we don't know whether to go in Madara. They are able to cancel her TP here with a nice Yules, and there should be a dead Venge unless she is crazy styling. But no, Quakeful will pick up another kill. Not going to be a dual win for him, but still has 120 damage and one more kill on that Venge.
Yeah, ultimately, I think that was all right for Finem. Obviously, there's some gold in the team fight, but not that much. And they do get the melee racks, which is going to make pushing the lanes out even easier and give them further advantage with their map control. So I think they're sitting in a pretty good spot. And they got the tier 3 of the top racks as well. So even more advantage in pressuring that. But the team fight win, it basically was about blowing up the Pugna. Don't let Pugna sit back and cycle through his abilities safely. They put all the pressure on him. He was the one that ultimately got dueled, and he got blown up.
Koikva moving forward now has a Shadow Blade as well as that Blink Dagger, really focusing on that jump initiation. Like you mentioned, the focus on the ganks is going to be huge. You got to lock down that Pugna. You got to keep him away from his team. So we'll see how that's going to play out. You got Illusion Wards now just to scout out the jungle. You see that NiP's vision, since they've been cornered into their base, has really suffered. They've got this one Observer Ward about to expire on that Radiant side of the territory, but that's about it, aside from this one sentry that's not doing much.
Their items are looking better, though. Veno just finished Aghanim Scepter. He's got Blink, BKB, Yules. He still has his Midas. He's in a pretty good spot. So this is a rare time where NiP has map control and they can pressure just due to winning that team fight. So definitely good for them. But they need Hani. He's not here. The Sand King is going to have to run over. He's got a gem. He's checking for wards. We'll see if NiP tries to take a fight here. Looks like they're going to play it safe and back, which is a little unfortunate for them since they did win that fight. But they have opportunities. Silver Edge picked up as well on Legion, so it can remove some passives, but mostly is very good against the Venge. But other than that, I think it's mostly just damage reduction as well. Good.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the map and you got to feel like NiP, oh, they're choked in their base, they're struggling. But in terms of net worth, they're actually in the lead. And XP as well, NiP have almost a 16, 17,000 XP lead in terms of overall levels. Their Leshrac is about to hit their 25. They've already got Legion at 25, so they're getting more out of their skill trees too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Jakiro's close to 25 himself, though. He's just about to hit 24. I'm curious which build he'll go for. I think the Ice Path one is generally seen as much better, but minus 50 on respawn time is pretty fantastic, and he's pretty much 6-slotted here. He's just farming up his... he's going to go Hex next, I guess. Probably swap out the Yules, perhaps. Hard to say. He's really impacting so much net worth here. It's really incredible. I haven't seen a Jakiro this farmed in a long time. And he's been playing legit support. This isn't like, I'm carry Jakiro. He's just been playing great.
He did pick up like 5 kills in the first 10 minutes of the game just from you know, dual breath and phenomenal fighting. So he got that kind of early head start, early roll, but he has been playing phenomenally this whole game.
So here comes the 5-man here. Dazzle's going to get a good weave off. It's level 2. So they should have a good armor advantage, but it's more about magic damage right now, to be honest.
Oh, here we go. Venomancer going to be going in, dropping the ult, but Madara is just fine with that. Just going to be backing off. So at Finem, they're content to go through, eat an ult or two, back off, heal up, and re-engage.
I think ultimately doing that as a Veno is a decent idea because it does force them to back off temporarily. Like, that was just an ult and a Gale, and Venge lost 2/3 of his HP. He didn't BKB in this case, but just doing that puts him on a 60-second cooldown for the Veno. He has to pop his BKB to do that safely, but it'll be back up by the next time they come in, or at least 30 seconds away. It's not that dangerous for him to pull stuff like that. I think it's a good move that buys them time and maybe gives them a better advantage or more time to try to find a better team fight.
The more concerning thing is just that BKB whittling down. It's still got 30 more seconds till it's able to be used again. So you got to make sure this time it might be Kamikaze Veno just jumping in and giving all he's got. Got that ult up in 5 seconds, so we'll see if it's going to come to fruition here.
And he lands the Gale on Venge. Looks like Venge going for a Satanic next, which will be nice to help offset some of that magic damage taken. But they've got a great defense going. And if Veno gets to 25 as well, he's going to be able to grab the 3x Plague Ward, HP, and damage. And then finally, I think Adfinim's going to have trouble killing those Veno wards when they try to siege.
Yeah, it's going to take up a lot of their, right-click damage, which is really concentrated in that Nature's Prophet and the Vengeful Spirit. And if they're otherwise occupied, if they're fighting, if Nature's Prophet's ratting, then there's not a whole lot of ways for Ad Finem to cut through the wards.
Nature's Prophet is scaling pretty well, though. He's got a Bloodthorn picked up, finishing an AC next, another way to really amplify his team's damage. I think they're in a great spot still, but NP is certainly a little behind, but they can easily still win this game. Leshrac's transitioning into his next Hex. Not really sure. Everybody's having item slot problems is basically what's happening in this game.
I mean, even with the backpack, y'all can't sort it out.
That's true. That's one solution. That's why Veno's happy right now. He can keep his Midas. Just keep Midasing when it's time.
Yeah, the cooldown's halved, right?
I actually don't remember.
I believe it's exactly half, so it'll take it twice as long to cool down, but that's still easy money.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I'm looking at it right now.
Duel coming in, and there's going to be Skylark just getting eaten alive, and it is going to be a successful win for Koikva. Unfortunate.
And that's exactly why you need these deep observer wards like this, because then if Quakefa's just out on the map somewhere farming, occasionally he will get a free kill like that, and it changes the whole game. Because now Finem says, oh crap, now we can't farm over there, we're gonna have to go over and de-ward. Now they can't high ground push. It gives NiP 70 seconds to actually do something. Just a huge advantage. And Quakefa's gonna play around it too. He knows that they know that there's a ward here, so he's gonna wait to see who comes.
Oh, it's sneaky, sneaky. But I don't know if he's actually going to fish his wish here, but we'll see.
It's a little scary. I mean, hypothetically, if Finem rotated over 3 heroes, he could easily get killed. Oh, they're going to spot him. Yeah, they spotted him. They have a sentry and an ops combo. That's the purpose of both of these. Not only to spot the ward, but to see invis heroes roaming through the jungle. And it might be maybe next time. I don't think he'll die, though. Okay, I think
he's going down pretty quickly. Thug can land the decrypt on him if he needs to. It's going to be draining him back up, and Quakefa, oh, he's not going to get exactly what he wants to out of this, and will be able to go ahead and BKB and blink and get himself home safely, but gave away, you know, a lot of time where he could have been pushing out or maybe finding an easier kill. So unfortunate, but not tragic.
When's the last time you saw Jakiro almost survive a duel against a very farmed Legion?
I have not played with maybe next time on my team, man. This guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, the only reason he almost died there was because Mjolnir really cuts through the items that he has. But if he had magic resistance there, I don't think the duel would have killed him. It was pretty amazing. But his items are genuinely incredible. Macro Pyroman, it's going to last for like 30 seconds. Who needs a Venom when you got a Jakiro with eggs, right?
Yeah, that's going to be hard, and especially where these fights are so clumpy, and he's almost at his level 25 and can get that longer ice path. He can just lay down a macro pyre, pop an ice path over it, and Ninjas in Pajamas just got to sit there and take it, and that is going to hurt them if he actually gets a really accurate strike on them.
Yeah, so basically this game is going to get into a really weird place now, where everybody's got like 6 items, and it's this weird like mix of trying to outplay your opponents with the items you have, but it's still a lot about who initiates on who. And Quakefa's looking for another duel here. He spots one. He's got to get the layout for more, though.
I think he's learned his lesson from that Jakiro and realizes that at Finem, they are clumped now. We're going to see some sort of initiation coming in as Veno.
Ooh, Veno blows up.
Yeah, he wanted to do something there, but could not. And now we are going to see our Undying be able to shuffle himself away. Legion coming in, just going at those Ancients, man. Gonna get him down. All right. Madara just rips apart Cinderin. Legion Commander now has 1 more camp's worth of farm. And is going to be able to go and take some of these creeps out. But again, standing in that Ag's Macro Pyre, she's now half health. And, bottom lane, there is going to be some rat going up as Era really wants to push. There will be a TP back threatened by our Pugna. And now there is going to be a reverse TP back coming in.
And Veno's already alive. He went for the -60 respawn time, so he's up almost immediately. They can maybe defend this. The only person that's dead is Undying.
Oh, but do they have the lockdown? Era, he's going to be doing his best here. Look at that Epi coming out from our Sand King, but it's just... it's not looking great. Had Finem, they're just so strong. Thug with this life drain is absurd, and Trixie with the BKB rockin', that was the only thing keeping him alive. Hani goes in, tries to get the burrow onto Madara, but Madara is just immortal here. Era gonna be getting low as well. Swap in. Madara is fearless. The balls on this guy. Oh my god. Going forward, there's gonna be a macro pyre and 1 more hit. Finishes off the Sand King. They're going in for the racks, and this may just be GG as NiP. They're spending buybacks if they've got them. Era's moving forward once again, but can barely connect with the stun. The BKB from Madara is perfectly timed. He can't be stopped. Look at him go on Cinderin. God damn, man.
He's hitting so hard right now. The piercing stun through BKB was really useful. He stunned like 2 or 3 times through BKBs in that fight. And he just can't die here.
He's getting hexed up here. Can they actually combo him down? They are focusing all their resources here. And he's going to be going ahead, satanicking himself back up. There's the Hurricane Pike. Madara, please relax.
He's not done yet. Might even get another kill. It's going to be close.
Oh, can they keep him alive? Skylark coming in, trying to keep Madara alive.
This team's pinging him.
And it looks like Ad Finem are looking pretty solid right now in this game, Perch.
He's going to get it. He is still not dead. He needs something to attack. He's going to die. He's going to die.
No, Madara, no! No!
Okay, he's alive. He's alive. The Venom ran out. He's
Woo!
good,
All right, the entire studio is cheering right now.
What an amazing performance from both teams, really. Really fun game to watch. Cool to see all of the skill trees and the item builds weave in and out. I think Ninja's Pajamas was off to a really rough start after Ad Finem really snowballed around 15 minutes. And just the late game decision making and item builds, it was very cool to see.